There you go.
You mastered the timer.
How do these things work?
Keep pushing the button.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Peggy.
And I'm Amanda, and you're watching the Junction Fiber Mill Millcast.
Millcast. Yeah. How you doing?
It's cloudy out.
It's humid as all get out. Yeah. Here on this early Monday morning. It's for you. It's your Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm good. Yeah, I haven't been here in 3 days. So
that's right. I completely forgot. Yeah, how was your day off on Friday?
Yeah, I took a day off to do like a little lake day because Maeve has been talking about want to go swimming in the water. She talks a big game, but when we actually got there, it's wet. My swimsuit is wet. That's kind of the whole point of the swimsuit.
I have very vivid memories of, particularly my oldest, not wanting to go in the water. And then you're into that dilemma of, do you just take them and carry them in and say, you're going to like it while they're screaming their heads off? Or do you respect that? And so what do you do?
Well, I sort of like walked her out. We went to Lake Willoughby in the Northeast Kingdom, which is just beautiful.
Fabulous. Yeah. Was it crowded?
So I will say, and probably people will get after me in the comments here, the best beach on Lake Willoughby is the clothing optional beach. So
is that the north or the south end?
The south end.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was clothing optional.
Well, there's like the two main beaches, north and south, that are just like wide open, normal beaches. You park right along them and you can go in. But if you sort of follow a trail off a little bit to the left of the normal beach and the south beach, it's sort of more, it's less of like a beach and more of like a trail by the shore, and there's boardwalks and there's little spots you can sit, and it's just beautiful because there's shade, whatever, but there's a lot of old dudes that are totally naked there. And so I was like, I think it's fine. I mean, I've been there with friends a bunch, and I mean, everyone keeps to themselves. So anyways, I forgot the question, but that's what
did you do this weekend? And did you make her go into the water? But
so anyways, the way out is very shallow for a long way,
which is
so
great.
I like held her and we just sort of walked for a long ways, and then eventually like her feet were in and her legs were in, and then I sort of made her like walk back a little bit.
Good.
She splashed around. She had fun, but it's a lot of work getting two kids.
Yes, it is. Yep.
With all the stuff. Yep. And everything, and we're like, do we bring the car seat so that Lewis has a place to sit? And so we did that. So anyways, it was a kind of a lot of effort.
A bit of a production.
It was a bit of a production.
But think of the memories that you're building that they'll have no recall of.
Hopefully not too
when they're 7
many
or whatever.
Memories of naked old days.
They're not even noticed.
No, she didn't notice at all. But and then we went to Parker Pie, which is a great pizza spot in the Northeast Kingdom, kind of legend. So it was fun. It was just exhausting. And then we're like, oh no, we have the whole weekend in front of us.
Oh, that's right. You did that on Friday, and
So Saturday we did the whole farmers market thing, and then we went to NanoFest up at the Tunbridge Fairgrounds, which is where Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival will be in a few months.
What is that?
It's a beer brewing festival.
Really?
For the beer. Yeah, you and Todd would actually really love it. Todd especially, because he loves
different kinds of beer.
I'm not a big beer person.
I'm not either. And you know what I'm not into? I'm not into this IPA.
No, me neither. But there's a lot of other stuff. I tried a couple. We went because Cody was playing music, so I was like, I'll take the kids, and they've got food trucks and all that. And it was sold out.
That's why they didn't
It's like their 8th year in a row.
Who runs that?
Brocklebank, the brewery up in Tunbridge.
Okay.
But there's like 10 breweries or something involved.
So was there any food served?
Yeah, there's food carts. So we went and got a pizza from Brownsville Butcher and Pantry.
Right.
That's delicious.
I didn't know they had do they have a truck?
They do, and also my friend Paige, I'm not going to remember the name of it, but she started a very adorable, ice cream truck. So they had that there too with the gourmet ice cream sandwiches.
Wow.
We got that. So
here we are describing something you can't attend. But
next year?
Yeah, mark your calendar now for, whatever.
Anyway, so Saturday was fun, and then we just did a lot of Vermonty things.
And Sunday it rained all day.
Rained all day. We had a little play date. We had a birthday party. The sun came out for the birthday party. So
yeah, I knit most of Sunday because it was just, what else are you going to do?
All that much
Todd cleaned up his office desk, which had piles on it from all of his New York Times cooking recipes, and blah, blah, blah. And I made a fair dent on the knitting. It reminded me, I don't know if you ever had
because the Olympics are over.
Olympics are over, yeah. Do you remember the Dr. Seuss book about Thing 1 and Thing 2, the Cat in the Hat? Mm-hmm. On a rainy day, Sally and me are sitting by, and just, I don't know why, it was that kind of day sitting inside.
Do you remember it? I read it all the time. I'm in it now.
Yeah. As are my grandkids.
It's fun to have fun, but you got to know how.
Yeah, there you go. anyway, it was that kind of day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Our big news is all of our cabinets, as we are recording, are being ripped out of our kitchen.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, yeah. They were part of the house when we bought it. They are very dark, and it wasn't something where we could paint over them. Anyhow, we have new cabinets coming in. So I may, in an hour or so, skedaddle out of the mill and go up and see what the kitchen looks like when all the cabinets have been pulled out. Yep. But we had to empty everything out. And as we're emptying it out and filling up the dining room table and all this, Todd's like, you do know 2/3 of this is not going back in. Because it is true, your kitchen cabinets become, ridiculous storage. Like, we have these, weapons of like, oh, it's just to empty out an avocado. A standalone tool for avocado.
Oh, Cody puts a crackdown on that stuff in our family. He doesn't allow it in. If it comes in, it gets immediately shown to the door.
We seem to have accumulated a lot. We got a lot of gadgets. They gotta go.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a similar week to you, actually, because we've got our guy come in to help finish some floors in our cellar. It's sort of like a crawl space down there.
Yeah.
And build storage.
Oh,
and
good.
He's coming next week, so we have to move everything that sort of gets put in the basement. It has to come out. And
yeah.
Anyways,
it's a production, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Busy times in the mill. It's been great. So while people have been doing their thing, we've been having 2 compressors heat pumps in. And you got to know what heat pumps are at this point. They'll heat, but they'll also cool. Mm-hmm. And we just really learned our lesson in July when we had a streak of 90 plus.
It's been bad every year. I just think as the staff increases, it's like, it's one thing if it's just pegging at
it. Yeah, we can suffer ourselves, but it's a little unreasonable to ask the entire team to be sweltering. And not only is it hot, like 90 degrees, but
humid.
The humidity is tough.
Yeah.
And it'll be a tricky balance because if it's AC, it's pulling out the humidity, but we need to be able to get in there and bring it down.
I think we've talked about the humidity before, but it's like your hair in the fall when it's dry. If you run a brush through it, it just goes everywhere. Yeah. The fiber does that, and so you just really need to manage it. The humidity helps with the static electricity, but there's other things you can do as well, and we've been learning. Yeah. But you really don't want that fiber to you want it to be cohesive.
Right. And we have a terrific electrician, and the guy installing the heat pumps, they're great. I think we're still going to get heat. So I'm sorry I couldn't have them by July because we really.
Oh, you mean this year it's going to get hot? Yeah. Oh, certainly. I mean, I remember some last weekends of September, there's a big running race I used to do, and there was one weekend that was like brutal in the 90s. Yeah. So it could happen for a while. Good. Yeah. And August has been pretty cool though. Yeah. Other than the smoke the last couple of days, we've been getting the air quality
from Canada.
Yeah, it's not been great.
Forest fires. Our other mill news on that front is that we have a compressor, and what the compressor does is it compresses air, and it allows us to have a stream of a little bit of air going across to organize the fibers off of the carder.
So off of the carder, it actually comes off as a web, which, you could turn into a bat. Just picture like a web of fiber.
Right.
And so to get it to be turned into roving, that strand of fiber, we need to put it into like one little hole.
Right.
And so we need to get the fibers going that way, and that's what the air does.
Right. And we have 2 little orange nozzles that are pointing, and it gives it a gentle blow. And it was a very, very noisy compressor. And then it stopped working and went down to Home Depot and basically got the same one. But the nice thing is the one that kaput was probably 15 years old.
Yeah, it was time.
So they've improved the technology. It's a little quieter.
Oh, it's significantly
It is significantly quieter. Yeah. And it turned out that the hose going to the compressor was also leaking. And that's cheap. So new compressor. Woo! Yay! Big things here. Yeah.
I got to show off what I'm wearing. I did a few weeks ago. But
it's so adorable.
Yeah, and now Liz,
Liz is
one of
knitting
our folks here is knitting it too, but it's a vintage flannel pattern.
Yeah, it's adorable.
It's just so fun, and we made our short sleeve, so
it's great. I don't know if Liz is doing her short sleeve. I can't wait to see hers.
Yeah, Liz is doing it with Aurora Borealis and the Indigo Farm Fresh Light. So I'm really curious because it's sort of dark on dark, whereas this is like a super high contrast. Right. But it's really fun.
Yeah, I'm wearing a purple shirt. I could not be putting wool on right now.
Okay, I gotta show you a color that would look fabulous in this sweater.
Oh, God. Drum roll.
Bloom, bloom, bloom.
Oh, hold up 3 at once, yeah.
Yeah. So this my segue
crazy.
into, I think this would actually be so fun in here, but this is our brand new, it's gonna come out and be available Tuesday, of this week, August 20th at 10 a.m., maybe when you're seeing it.
Yeah.
But this is called Pink Pony Club, and it is making tracks light. So it's our sport weight.
Yeah.
And we teased it a little bit last week, but we had so much fun playing with the neons for our brat yarn, which is DK weight, that we thought, why not make a bright pink and see how that goes?
And why is it called what it's
Pink
called?
Pony Club?
Pink Pony Club. All right. You know, you watch the Millcast and you think, oh, I'm going to learn about yarn. Well, you're also going to become very culturally literate.
Oh my God. Do not put that
Don't rely on us.
Because we are under some rocks in Vermont. But I do love a pop star. And so Chappell Roan is the artist that has the song called Pink Pony Club. It's worth a listen. Some of her lyrics are a little spicy. I'm just going to put it out there. But it's a very fun, catchy song. And because we were making pink, one of our employees, Elise, was like, you got to call it Pink Pony Club.
Elise, who's way more in the know than we are.
Elise is our Gen Z consultant.
Yeah, exactly.
So we should put that in her job title.
Yeah, so we're having fun with the bright colors. It's very summery feeling, and so we're going to be doing a run of them.
Yeah, but this is the one
that's this Tuesday.
Yeah,
and we're going to drum roll tease what's coming up next week.
Oh my gosh, I just saw this sitting there. I could not share it with you all.
I'm literally going to do a drum roll.
Oh my God.
Ready?
Woo! So that is bright orange.
Bright orange.
I think we're still going to land on a name, but this is.
Hey, give us a name. What pop star is dressing in this kind of orange? Give us a suggestion for this. So this will be a companion to the Pink Pony Club. The Brat will be coming out also in sport weight at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. How fun is that?
So this, and just to show you, so our old spinner was a little different, but I just love the sort of preview you get of the colors when it's spun like this. So our new Remella spinner, the way that it loads the bobbin, and you can see this kind of looks like a baton, like you would juggle with, I guess. But it basically does a section at a time. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and then it just sort of slowly makes its way up to the top. So the yarn itself is not going to be stripy like this. But what you can see, it's going to look, it's going to look like this.
But if you get a close look, you can see how it's not just orange and white. There's a little pale orange. It's going to be
yellow, and this is the single ply, so this will get plied onto something like this.
Right, two plied. Yeah.
And it's going to be so fun.
It's going to be great.
And this is also pretty close to our hunting season orange. So if you were preferring a sport weight or a variegated version of neon orange for a hunting safety cap.
Yep.
This is a good one. I don't know if we've teased it on the Millcast, but in a couple weeks we do have a very fun farm fresh
DK
orange, solid coming.
Yeah, it'll come off less DK or less neon because the under has a gray tone to it.
Yeah.
So it won't shock you. I have to say, Todd was here at the mill skein winding these.
Yeah.
Now I hope it comes through. These are bright. And when I saw Todd that night, I said, so are your eyeballs burning?
Green.
Are your eyeballs burning from skein winding the Pink Pony Club? He was like, no, it's okay.
I know. When we had this and the Brat all drying in here at the same time, I would look at the Brat and then everything was fuchsia, and I'd look at the fuchsia and everything was green. It's bright. I think you could probably pull off some good safety in the woods in this color.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's very cool.
Yeah, and just because it was sitting right next to this orange that is so lovely, I had to show you this making tracks as well. This is our sea glass, and this is going to be the DK weight. But isn't that so pretty? You get to see all the colors come through on these bobbins. This is the sea glass in the single ply, so they apply together. But how fun is that? I just love these things. I want to juggle with them, but I don't know how.
I can't juggle to save my life.
I haven't.
Can Cody juggle?
Of course he can
juggle.
That's
right. For some reason, I think of Cody. Todd, no, not at all. We got other things going on in the. Or do you want to go? I'm looking at our list here. Do you want to go here or do you want to go here?
Let's let folks know about something else cool that we are gonna do this year. And I say gonna because we don't have a physical thing to show you, but the pre-sale starts probably when you see this. So 10 a.m. Tuesday. Yeah. We are going to try our little hand at an advent calendar style thing this year. It's called the Solstice Surprise Box. And it's surprise. So when you get it, we're not going to show you what's in it. But it's basically going to be all the yarn you need to make this custom project that our friend Katie's designing for us. Yep. It's going to be sort of like a sampler scarf.
Like a sampler, different long scarf with different textures and motifs. and you'll get the yarn that'll all be talking to itself. It's not like random, pink pony next to sea glass. It's just going to be a really carefully curated.
Those would look sweet next to each other, but anyways.
But it's a curated colorway with a background color that we're very excited about.
Yeah, so you're going to get 2 full-size skeins of our Sport Weight Farm Fresh Light. And then you're going to get 9 mini skeins of our Making Tracks light. So it's all going to be in Sport Weight.
Right.
All different skeins. So
it'll be some Making Tracks that you've never seen before because we're doing a combo thing that so it'll be very unique to
so
the box.
Those we're just going to do a limited run of those this year. So if you want one, sign up soon.
Yeah, it's treat yourself. It's one of those, with those advent calendars, you get to open a box and save and then open another box. And we're calling it Solstice
Surprise
Solstice.
Box.
Yeah. Very cool.
That'll be fun. And then we had a fun little stunt last week, whatever. Surprise bags.
Yeah, they were fun.
They were really fun. It's a great way for us to sort of bundle up the sort of remnants and the
small skeins, the mini skeins, and it allows you to sort of get a flavor of a bunch of different colors. And you did this. You were clearly having fun.
I did.
Putting the bags together. She's there going, I want to put this with this one, and.
So if you got one, we did sell out, but if you got one and it's totally not your jam, I'll link in the show notes. We set up a Ravelry thread. It's where you can, go to trade your surprise bag contents. But hopefully you love them. And I suggest Peg's hat is a great pattern to make with those, especially with the DK weights. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, hopefully you can add it to your stash and find a really fun project to use those up. But we do those from time to time. Yeah. Newsletter is always the best place to find out when the next
And there's
round.
a lot of sweater patterns out there that call for lots of different colors. And so you kind of save it up and then say, I have enough to do that sweater.
Yeah.
I'm jumping off topic, but you showed me a sweater recently. It has kind of a puffy sleeve. And she's very popular, and she's got all these different geometric patterns going through all the way down.
Yeah, I forget which one that is exactly, but there's a lot of really cool ones out there. So let us know what you make with it.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. So what have you got?
Great things going on in the mill. We have 2 that I want to show you. One is this, they haven't been wound yet. This is just all natural. This is a Cheviot mix.
Color.
It's a creamy, so a really beautiful, this is a custom processing order that we're just now starting to hang.
So soft.
It's soft and
it's like a worsted weight.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's got the sponge to it. Great color. And then the other one we want to show. This is really
I've been just eyeing this every time I walk past.
This is the first time we've ever done this. You think, dark gray. This is kind of a Cormo mix.
Beautiful lustery gray. But when you actually see it up close, I hope you can see. Yeah, there is some.
Let me get you in there closer.
Beautiful little silk bits and bobs. Multicolored, technicolored silk in here. So this is a customer that had a very specific thing in mind when they dropped off, and we've been having fun.
Everybody's been oohing and eyeing and saying, "Oh my goodness!" So what's cool is there's some people who have yarns out there and they call it confetti, but what's cool about this is silk, so there's a little bit of shine and the colors are very punchy. Yep. They're small bits, but they really pop.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's very cool.
I can't wait to see what they think about
this. Yeah, and they're doing
several
different versions of it. So this is the first, and then we'll jump in on the rest.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, speaking of cool.
Nice segue.
You got to be cool and come to our Millapalooza.
Yeah.
It's the Friday before the Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival, which is October 5th and 6th. So on Friday, October 4th, we'd love to see you. This is going to be a community gathering, limited tickets, but we're going to come and have a preview at the mill of the things that we're going to have at the Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival. We'll do an in-depth tour of the mill itself.
And when you say preview, it means you get first dibs on the special colorways that we're making for the festival. Right.
But then the real excitement is coming up.
And the sample sale.
Oh, yeah. And we've got a lot of terrific samples, and they'll only be available at the Millapalooza. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to come up to Savage Heart Farm, my farm, which is about 10 minutes from the mill. We've rented a giant tent, so weather won't be an issue. The views are not to be believed. The food is going to be outstanding. The foliage will be, mwah.
Yeah.
And great music and, like-minded fiber friends. So
I'm really excited that we're renting what I consider to be the world's best maple creamy machine to serve. So not only is it maple creamies, they're the best maple creamies, I think. So
so great food, great desserts, phenomenal view, great music, and the company will be great.
We got some Alcoholic, non-alcoholic bevies?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I hope you can make it. It should be really fun.
Get all the more details on how to get the tickets on the website.
And I hope to have a sweater to wear by then.
Oh, absolutely.
But we'll see.
All right, how are you doing?
I'm coming along slowly, but I did get my sleeve done.
Excellent.
This is for our Knitalong, the Lindal Sweater. So I'm not at a great stopping place to show off, but I will say, here's my sleeve.
Yeah, what'd you think of the crafting?
I was really nervous that I did it wrong, and that I did it. I counted the stitches in the end, and it was fine. So it was fine. I do a lot of tubular bind off, so I'm really
right. So you're used to that.
Kitchener stitch. I always take way too much yarn, and then by the end of
I know.
why did I do that?
But only once do you have to come up short and then go never again. Here,
this is the front, and that's the sleeve. And now I'm working on the back.
What's the making tracks you use?
This is the Tangerine Twist, with the Blue Face Luster Blend and
it is
burnt
adorable.
Orange. I am just loving the colors, and now I'm getting to a little bit more of a purpley version of the making tracks. You can see I started all the way over here with this mint.
Right.
So it's just really fun to see the colors change. And I'm still really enjoying the pattern. The pattern is... Especially when I get to these little leaves or whatever you want to call these bits, because they just knit up so quickly.
Yeah, they zip along.
Let me see yours.
So I'm doing mine I just want to show it. This is the Midnight Plum. Mine, unfortunately, is at a stage where I can't show it all. But I have done a sleeve. Yeah, there's the sleeve.
You're going to be done
I'm
soon.
On the second sleeve, which is hanging out here.
Yeah.
So that's the back side.
So beautiful.
And I'm doing the cardigan.
And you're doing it with your wool.
Yes, Savage Heart Farms charcoal.
Just feels like $1,000,000. We still have a couple skeins left. Not the charcoal.
Not the charcoal, but we have the medium gray and the white. And a little bit of the light
gray.
But that's what I'm doing. I'm thrilled with it. I don't know how you do it. Liz was telling me she kind of loaded the pattern onto some app. You're going back and forth. I need the paper but it's not complicated. The instructions are as clear as could be.
Yeah.
But you're going back and forth to doing shape number 6, and now you're going to do shape. Go to page 5.
I mean, Ona has said this before. This was her first sweater that she ever designed. And boy, does it feel like somebody coming at this from just a totally fresh perspective.
And wanting to be uber clear, which we've said a lot, but it's true.
It's so
I brought this because I want to, we have the skein winder here.
Yeah.
And I want to know the ball winder.
Yeah.
And I want to know what's the beginning and the end, because when I transition to the next, I should
do the same thing.
I don't want to have a sudden jag.
Yeah. That's a great way to do it. We should share that tip in a little bit more depth. So what Peg is talking about is with the making tracks, because it's variegated, so if you're switching skeins, it could be that you don't have the exact color. Like you could have
Right, it's variegated and it transitions very slowly, so you might be in a very light section, and then you're at the end.
Like, for instance, you might be at this sky blue, and now
here.
You've got some green as your next skein. And what you could do to avoid, to do a little bit more planning,
is to make a cake.
Ball up or cake up all of your yarn ahead of time, and you can choose whether you're going to start from the inside of the ball or the outside.
Right.
And if you, for instance, if you're getting, you're the very end is one color, but like a little bit before the end is the matching color. You could decide
you can go in and then come back. Yeah. It's only 2 skeins, so you're only for the Lindal. It's just knowing what your 2 skeins are doing.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Well, we've got let's see, we've got an open house coming up. Our last before Millapalooza.
September 6th. 3 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a gorgeous day. I just already know that.
Yeah, predicting the future.
Why not? Yeah. What else have we got going on? I think, well, we've mentioned then in October, basically 1 month after that open house is the beginning of the fiber festival season.
Starts with Millapalooza, and then we go up to and then, Vermont Sheep and Wool, which again, so excited to get back to the Tunbridge Fairgrounds.
And then just a couple weeks later, it's the big boy, Rhinebeck.
Yep. And we're going to do our meetup with the Lindal Sweater.
Yeah.
So that's why we've got that deadline.
It's great.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.